What's up, guys? I got the keys here back with another video. So, today I want to talk about your mental diet and how important that is in changing your identity, your subconscious work, changing your mind. Okay. Um, so, we know that everything that we take in and within a day, right, affects how we think, feel, and take actions, right? Down from music to movies to um, what people say to you to the food you put in your body, right? All of this matters um, in some sense, and you're not going to change it all at once. Okay, so don't get freaked out. Don't put yourself in fear over not being perfect. Okay, but what we want to do is start noticing the things that are actually affecting our mental state and our feelings and who we are. Okay, so especially when it comes down to music. Music is one of the best ways to um, reprogram the mind, okay? Um, because it speaks directly to the subconscious when you're listening to it. Um, so we want to listen to high vibrational music, or at least if you are going to listen to these modern, you know, the rappers and, um, we know how the industry is, okay? But if you are going to listen to them, at least listen for wisdom and not just the money, cars, clothes, and hoes, right? Okay. We want to look past that stuff because there is still wisdom within that music, whether you want to see it or not. Everybody has a dark and a light side. Okay, so there's not just one side to a person. Okay. Um, so we want to be careful on what we take in. But at the same time, I understand that there may be songs that you do enjoy from Hollywood artists or whatever, and not all of them are bad either, right? Not all of them are into this dark art type thing. Um, but we want to be aware of the what's being said to our subconscious as we're listening, right? Michael Jackson said this very often that music speaks directly to the subconscious mind. So if you're not listening to music that's talking about consciousness, that's talking about love, that's talking about um, being better, etc. Okay, we want to listen to music that's actually encouraging us, motivating us, driving us towards things, helping us realize more of ourself and more awareness within daily life. Right? There's music that will center you. There's music that will completely disrupt your cells. Um, I know a lot of people are against like metal and stuff, but I actually disagree. There is actually some very conscious metal, um, and rock and everything else out there. You just have to look for it. Um, but it's like we really have to get used to changing the things that we used to do from that old version because yeah, that stuff might have, it sounds good. It sounds good. Of course, that's the point. The beat's supposed to sound good so that you don't realize what's being said during the beat. Okay. Um, so we want to get rid of the same old like, materialistic like I said, money, cars, clothes, and hoes, right? It's all the same thing, or like, the women rappers nowadays, it's all about, fuck men and this, that, and the other thing, and then the men are like, well, fuck women and everything else. So it's like um they're trying to turn us against each other in a way, right? And a lot of them don't even know what they're doing, right? They don't realize it. But we need each other, guys. Men need women, women need men. It's just how it is. There is no beating that. Okay. So, with that being said, it's like we need to listen to things that actually raise our vibration, that actually heal us as we listen to it, that actually reprogram our mind into better ways of thinking and feeling. Okay. You notice when you listen to a song, there's a certain feeling you get from that the vibration that the person is putting out. Therefore, you are accepting that same vibration into you. Okay. Um, it's the same thing with movies, right? Uh, I, for one, do not watch scary movies for this reason. If you notice, I know I did, especially as a kid. I would watch these movies and I would be scared for days. Right? I would have bad dreams. It would give me nightmares. Um, we don't realize what we're putting into our mind when we watch these things. And I'm not saying if if you totally enjoy a scary movie, great. I'm not trying to tell you not to do something. I'm simply, putting my view. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. But for me, those kind of movies, they put negativity into the mind. They give you scary pictures of, what we could call demons or whatever. And then you have thoughts about these things, and then they become real as a manifest of your thinking. So, and that might not be like a literal, thing popping up next to you, but like the dreams, you have nightmares about them chasing you or whatever it may be, or maybe you could have yeah, but you get what I mean. So we want to watch movies that actually are at least pertaining to what we're trying to learn, or basically if the movie is not educating you, is not giving you new knowledge, is not resonating with you on a certain level, don't watch it, right? um it's all important, guys. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you can't watch a certain thing once in a while, but um this especially goes for even uh I would say sexual activity, right? Because we don't want to be watching that. We don't want to be watching the websites. You know what I'm talking about? The good old corn. As a man or as a woman, um, this also takes away your imagination, and it's literally draining your energy as you watch it because of the dopamine spikes that it causes in the brain. It's a constant visual pleasure. So, and I'm not saying not to, be intimate with yourself, but you need to do that wisely, right? We don't just want to release the videos online. Okay, we learn how to consciously use our energy, not waste it. So, especially as a man, retention is your baseline. That is where you should be. I'm not saying you have to retain, infinitely, but um, learning how to use your energy in a positive way that actually helps you in life, that actually gives you drive, that actually moves you. Um, and guys, I'm not perfect. I fall short sometimes. And I want to say that doesn't make you any less of a man. It doesn't make you go backward. You are still moving forward, even if you have a mess up, right? Um, but let's get off of that topic because that could be a whole nother video. So we want to again put things in, things that we watch and everything, the things that we hear, all gets put in to our internal world. Okay. um so if you're listening to positive music all day, well, you're going to have a better vibe than if you listen to negative music all day. um we want to listen to books and stuff that encourage, again, consciousness, that we're learning something that we want to learn. I know for me, I study a lot of wealth books. I study a lot of consciousness books. I study a lot of just metaphysics, everything, right? Just trying to get knowledge from whoever and whatever. And um that's a really important thing too, because if you don't have the knowledge, you're never going to learn. um So again, we want to really question everything that we put in, everything that we watch, everything that we listen to. Um, and again, food, guys, food is so important. I know there's a lot of information about food, so I'm not going to tell you what to not eat and what to eat, but I'm simply going to say We want to eat well. We want to eat food that is nourishing for the body, not the, like for instance, if you're eating meat, you want to eat good grass-fed meat, you know, healthy wild salmon, some good chicken. It doesn't need to be, um, the most expensive thing in the world, but you at least want to eat better than what they're giving at most of the grocery stores. And even some of the healthier options you need to watch out for, right? Um, so I'm not here to tell you to be a carnivore or an omnivore or an herbivore. I really don't, care what you want to do, but you want to be healthy in whatever way you are doing that. Okay. So you want your vitamins, right? You want zinc. You want all of this, especially as a man. You want zinc. Okay. That's going to help you with your sexual energy. Um, so we want to make sure that we're actually getting our nutrients from the things we eat. We're not just eating because it tastes good, right? Um, so fruits, veggies, meats, dairy. Again, we want to make sure it's good dairy, not just the garbage from the store that you know our typical milk and stuff. We have better options for milk. You could use like an organic almond milk or uh, oat milk, or they also have grass-fed milk. But you choose your option and what works for you. Uh, and again, this stuff is going to change your life slowly over time. You're gonna change one thing at a time. It's not gonna happen overnight. And you just completely change your music, what you watch and what you eat. It's gonna take consistency, persistence, and discipline to actually stay on this track. Okay. But eventually you will actually get used to this and it will be easy for you. Right. When I first started making meal preps and stuff, guys, I didn't know what I was doing. And I still don't fully know. Right. I take what I learn, and if I see something that makes sense to me, I try it out. If it works for me, great. Um, but I've learned just to prep my meals. I try not to eat, overly eat like snacks and stuff. I get certain things, and if I do get snacks, I try to get my fruits and stuff instead. Um, so those are my kind of like sweets. And then, I might get like a bag of organic popcorn or something just for, to crave that for that chip craving because I was a big chip guy. But chips, we all know, are terrible for calories. Okay. So, um, with that being said, guys, be cautious of what you are putting into you and your vessel. Okay. Everything affects you, whether you believe it or not, it does. Okay. So be weary, be aware, and just watch, learn, and adjust. Okay. With that being said, I am doing one-on-one consultations, guys. If you are looking to um, get some better options for this, right? If you need like a plan or just motivation to get out of bed, maybe, you know what I mean? Some of us have that problem with the weekend. We just like to stay in bed. And I'm not saying to never do that. I'm just, putting it out there. But, if you need help adjusting your schedule or, maybe how to plan a meal prep or whatever, please set up a one-on-one consultation with me and we will work something out. Okay. All you got to do is send me your name and a short description of what you're going through to my email. It'll be down in the description. So I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.